Welcome to the Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce Chambercast. Do we have any soccer fans in the audience? Football fans? All right, okay. So, well, there's a quiz. We can check that. If someone scores, what is it called? Goal! Oh, we only have an hour, so I can't keep that going. So I want to thank everyone for being here. I'm Terrence Wall, co-founder and the host of Monmouth Regional, the Chambercast, our program at Bellworks, and we have a special guest here who is part of the reason Bellworks is what it is today, and I'm going to say hello to him in a minute. We have wonderful guests that are going to speak about the business of soccer and the upcoming FIFA World Cup. Now, everyone here is getting, James said, complimentary tickets, right? To front row? Okay, all right, so stick around. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is expected to generate $3.3 billion with a B, billion in revenue. They expect to generate 14,000 jobs. It's a lot of jobs. And 1.3 million visitors. Now, I may be corrected on some of my numbers today. They may be updated, but big numbers. And another interesting thing today, which is very special, that the director is going to chat about, we are 250 days from
our celebration.
Yes, grab your mic, sir. Yeah.
So from our salvation, the United States' birthday, 250 years it will start, and it's I'm sure I'll say this improper, and our county clerk Christine Hannon will correct me later when she hears this. Quincentennial anniversary, pretty much similar to 50 years ago when we had the bicentennial. So it's a big celebration. Today is the 250th day to that anniversary.
Very special. Isn't that great? Yeah. So our guests have resumes that would take up a whole hour, but I'm going to briefly introduce the folks that are with us today, and then we're going to go around the room, and we also want to hear, we're going to hear first from our sponsor today, Two River Technology. Tom Arnone, the Commissioner Director of Monmouth County, serving his 5th 3-year term and running, I don't know if I've, other than maybe Eric Hinds locally, running so hard. You're everywhere. You're at every single event showing your support for the community. And we're expecting him to have a resounding 3 additional future years here serving for the folks in Monmouth County and running a fantastic organization. He's going to talk about the tourism issues, the economic impact of FIFA World Cup. Currently serving his 5th term, as I mentioned. He's the liaison to many of the county's vital systems, tourism, economic development, shared services, and so much more. And as you referenced earlier, he's co-chair of the county's 250 team, ramping up for an incredible celebration of the birth of the United States of America, 250 years. Thank you for being here, sir. Evan Dabby, round of applause. Yes, thanks. Evan is the CEO of New Jersey Youth Soccer and president of the United States Consortium of State Associations. Youth soccer is a billion-dollar business, and the folks are going to talk about it because it's all connected. That's where a lot of this excitement is generated from. It's generational, right? Because we're going to talk about the man from Villanova in a minute. So Evan is CEO, New Jersey Youth Soccer, president, USCSA, with more than 16 years of experience in Major League Soccer League office, where he held leadership roles in game operations, stadium operations, supporter relations, public safety, team travel, and sports medicine. Evan brings a deep understanding of soccer operations right here to Bellworks. And a shout out to Ralph Zucker and his team from Inspired Somerset. Fantastic, inspirational, and now they're up in Chicago, and they're in Fort Monmouth. I mean, just building incredible spaces. We also have here good friend, Eric Hinds. Welcome, Eric. Thank you for being here. What many of you may not know, round of applause, yes, because Eric was key in where we're sitting right now. His partnership, his leadership as mayor of Homedale Township is why we're here, why this was able to partner with Mr. Zucker and help facilitate the vision of what you see today, and really helped preserve this iconic property, this incredible program, incredible building. So thank you for your leadership, Mayor Hinds, very much. Now, he was also he has a soccer background, co-captain and 3-year starter for Villanova boys soccer team, coached multiple state championship teams over the course of his 30 years of coaching, and almost 30 years, 27 years in Merrill Lynch in the wealth management area for Merrill Lynch. He also is the co-founder of Hope for Children Foundation, which just does incredible work. And I know, Director Arnone, there are different nonprofits that folks are very special to them. And before we leave today, we should point them out so folks are hearing, because we're also streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. Because as we know, you do well by doing good and doing good for others. So I also want to mention this fine guy, James Davis. What event do I not see you at? He's just really incredible. And his dad is here from World Construction. Round of applause for Dad. Because Mom did a great job. Well, he gives all the credit to your mom, so that's why I'm going with that. So James is manager of FC Monmouth, Monmouth County men's and women's soccer teams, representing the county across the country. James has a background in sports and recreational management, where he oversaw the club sports program for the University of Rhode Island, where they had 700 students, 21 teams, and a club sailing team, which ranked in the top 10, right? Yeah, top 10 in the nation in Division I. So round of applause for our guests. Thank you all for being here. Let's go around the room real fast, and we got a great, fantastic, large group, so be brief, but let us know who you are and the company you're with. And then, Jeannie, if we could either start or finish with Two River Technology, our coffee sponsor today.
Yes, and we're just going to say our name and what organization we're from, because we have a pretty large crowd here today.
James Davis is dad.
Brendan Murphy, Elite Sports Training.
Gary Gelman, Gelman Images. We're going around with a camera to do a promo for next year. So if you see Alana walking around with the camera, that's what we're doing with the camera. Thanks.
Thank you.
Therese Rolke, and I'm with the Chamber. Thank you all for coming, and thank you to the Walls for putting this on today and for our guests.
Yes, thank you. And Jeannie, also for the guests, if you have a unique connection to the events and what's happening in soccer, please point that out briefly as well. I think, James, you had mentioned somebody. Let's go. Yeah.
Sure, yes.
Hi, Gail Bonus. I am with the Monmouth Regional Chamber, and thank you all for coming today.
Angelo with Shore District Advertising.
Tom Gilmore, President of the Monmouth Ocean Development Council and founding trustee of the Asbury Park Music Foundation.
Thank you.
Mackenzie Nunez, the practice manager of Mind Body Healing Center.
Sherilyn Przomski, HR Director for Community Affairs and Resource Center, and also on the board of the Chamber.
Tara Demianovich, also working for Community Affairs and Resource Center and on the board for the Chamber.
Jessica Murphy with Shore Business Solutions.
Laura Onsi, Brookdale Community College. I'm here to find out if you're using Brookdale's soccer field for anything.
Yeah, I heard some things might be coming up, right? That they might be using Brookdale soccer field. Thank you. Brookdale's a fantastic community partner in every way.
Hi, I'm Danny Chong from the House of Chong in Middletown.
Big supporter of FC Monmouth.
Gina
I'll shout them
Augusta,
out.
Brookdale
Thank you,
Community
Danny.
College.
Eddie Romanek with Brookdale Community College.
Good morning, Alex Neal, Women's Empowerment and Divorce Recovery Coach.
Good morning, Davika Chinnapan, iJourna, and I'm interested in mental health initiatives within the soccer community.
Thank you.
Rich Purcell, League Med.
Tom McGill, Darcy's Tavern.
Jeannie, I heard you're
really quick.
You're doing a lot of things for the. What did you want to say, James?
Yeah, Tom, why don't you talk a little bit about, because this is a really prime, obviously, opportunity to really explain what you do, and people might not know what Darcy's is, and you're obviously a very large deliverable for economic impact in the area.
We're a soccer-based, football-based tavern on Main Street in Bradley Beach. We have an outside facility, 2 floors, and we're gearing up and listening to ideas, how we can promote the World Cup, the area, the town, and we're trying to get some ideas.
Thank you so much.
So I just also want to give a good plug there to Darcy's. A great place and great energy and just a fun environment.
Daniel Pace, Genuine Technologies, your digital business solutions.
Louis Payne, I'm with the Greater Long Branch Chamber of Commerce.
Evan Unger, EDP Soccer, and James is assistant coach with FC Monmouth.
Mary Vasilakis, Signature Realty.
Peter Vasilakis, soccer coach.
The Massa Men, here we go.
Mazda Recycling, Anthony Garino.
Sal Falletta, Mazda Recycling.
Eric Kaiser, Mazda Recycling.
I want to thank the Mazda team for always being here. We appreciate your support.
Jim McNamara, Jersey Shore Blue Claws baseball team.
Nick Marchese, Foreshore Media and president of Monmouth Film Institute, also known as Monmouth Film Festival.
Yes, and the Monmouth Film Festival is coming back, right, Nick? Yeah.
David Chadwick from Red Sky Events. We're a full-service photo booth company.
Kira Dabby, Spiro Harrison and Nelson Law Firm, and a longtime supporter of Evan Dabby.
Ronnie Rosen, Evan Dabby Fan Club.
Sandy Rosen, Evan Dabby Fan Club.
Thank you for being here. Big fan club.
Al Aloisi, independent insurance broker, pianist, and tennis coach.
Woo! Thank you, Al.
Thank you, Al. Always.
Hi, Scott Murray with Berkshire Hathaway here in Homedale.
Good morning, Peter Tasker, owner and founder of Superdome Sports. We're developing and building a sports center here in Brick, as well as North Jersey, and we'll be doing the World Cup events over at the American Dream Mall.
That's awesome. Welcome.
Hi, Matt Plessing, President, Middletown Soccer Club.
Hi, Beverly, Maximum Exposure. We do promotional items, fun, and custom. Thank you.
Mike Strecker is SJS Specialty Company. We also specialize in branded apparel and promotional products.
Hi, Lauren Brand, Monmouth County.
Trisha Wajda, Monmouth County.
Maya Houston, I'm interning at Oasis Physical Therapy.
That's wonderful. And you're a student, right, at Homedale High School?
Next generation.
Carly Sardo, and I'm interning at Greystone Capital.
Wonderful.
Maggie Daly, and I intern at Joint Physical Therapy.
That's great.
Elliot Cohen, business teacher at Homedale High School, as well as the internship coordinator.
And thank you for all you do. And there's over 100 internships, right?
Over the last 5 years, over 100 internships. Thank you to the
Awesome.
family for providing a lot of those opportunities.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Right out of here, out of Bellworks, part of your legacy, Mayor Hinds. Right there.
Jim Gooley, women's football industry, and a founding member of Sky Blue FC, now known as Gotham.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Teresa Marsh with CSAV Systems.
Anyone else in the audience here? We're going to talk to our sponsor here today. Two River Technology Group is going to talk to us for a moment. We're going to just step back here. While we're walking over, I will tell you my name is Jeannie Wall, and I'm the co-founder of Chambercast, this Chambercast program, and I publish content for Tap Into. So we're just going to get in the camera frame here.
Thank you, Jeannie.
Nice. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. Roman Feldman with Two River Technology Group, right down the hall here in beautiful Bellworks. It's amazing to see the energy that's happening in Monmouth, not only with Netflix, but with FIFA and everything else, but it really boils down to the people. Being a very long resident of this area, as many of you, we want to make sure we keep going on this incredible momentum that we have. And we want to make sure that we're doing it properly, securely. And part of that is making sure that you have the right technology partners. So if you're interested in having a conversation or just an assessment on your business or personal side, because I really think your organization is only as strong as your weakest link. And if you are interested in having that conversation, would love to have that. My table is located right behind us. And if you have any questions, tworivertech.com. Roman Feldman, thank you so much, and have a great conversation here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and thank you to the Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce. If you're not a member, please talk to Therese Rolke in the front there.
Thank you very much, guys. And when I'm not your humble host, I'm a VP with Marsh McLennan Insurance. So thank you, everyone, for being here. It's really important. And feel free to share on social media, photos, videos of this event. It's great that you're here. We're going to dive right into it. So some of the things that are really unique about FIFA, right? FIFA, depends if you're French or not. It's in 3 countries, right? Canada, Mexico, and the United States. Am I accurate? It moved from, I believe it was 32 teams last time to now it's moving up to 48, right? Eric's going to quiz me in a minute. I want to get some of this right. And it's extremely unique. And what's exceptionally unique is where the final game is being held. Let's go right to that. Eric, you've got a long history of football and soccer. Can you speak to that and dive right in?
Yeah, I mean, first off, thank you, Jeannie, and thank you, Terrence. It's wonderful to be at Bellworks. Was the part of the vision when we started to create it and brainstorm with Ralph. This is what it's about: bringing people together, the community together, and that's really what soccer's about. I've been involved since I got home from Villanova. I coached multiple teams before having kids. Volunteered at the high school. It's a passion of mine because it is the beautiful game. And that beautiful game comes together every 4 years, and we are very, very lucky in this area that the finals will be right here in New Jersey. I mean, that is just a powerful statement for the rich history that comes out of New Jersey here. Now, you know, when you talk about what happened, when's the last time that happened? 1994. So what has changed in the 32 years since we last hosted? People don't realize this. When the last time the World Cup came here, we did not have a Major League Soccer program in this country. We also didn't have really cell phones or the internet. But if you think about how far we've come, kids today at 5, 6, and 7 years old are watching English Premier Leagues. They know players in multiple categories. They follow soccer, right? 50 million viewers are watching English Premier League in the United States. It's an insane number. So today, unlike 30 years ago, Americans know the players that are coming. I think we're actually underestimating the power of this impact it's going to have on the sport of soccer. And it simply comes down to one question, Terrence. What do we, as the ground level of people that love the game, that are involved professionally with the game, what do we do to capture this? It's going to have a tidal wave. How long can we ride this? And can we really take soccer, you know, to a whole new level, not just a great youth level, but really improve our Major League Soccer and really make it a substantial sport here in this country?
Go ahead, Evan.
Lauren LaRusso stopped by. She's with the World Cup, an executive with the World Cup host committee, and I've heard her speak a lot in recent months. And she really effectively conveyed the scope when she said each one of these World Cup events is like a Super Bowl. So we are going to have 8 Super Bowls in New Jersey in June and July. Then you look at the 6 Super Bowls that happen in Philadelphia. This is going to be the epicenter of the world of soccer, the most in its history, the most watched events in the world. That opportunity is unique.
I also have to agree, and you know, it's twofold for myself. Of course, the economic engine that will drive inside the county, that quite frankly, there's not many opportunities that you get to maximize that ability to do that. This is by far probably the biggest, and well exceeding like even the Super Bowl, because it's 8 of them there. And then on a personal side, I love the game of soccer. Coached for many, many years there, and it's just a fun game. It's an energy game. It brings all the youth out, unlike, and I don't want to downplay the Super Bowl at all, but if you look at the Super Bowl there, you have adults and middle-aged people but if you look at this and those games, especially the finals, you have all the youth, okay, they're loving this and wanting to be part of this. So we have to maximize it. We will maximize it here in Monmouth County, I can assure you, and you'll hear a little bit more about that there. But at the end of the day, this is something that's special to our economy here in the state of New Jersey. But more importantly here, I think Monmouth County is going to benefit, one of the top counties in the state of New Jersey.
Yeah, and how might it showcase some of the Jersey Shore and Monmouth County is already known for its sports acumen. Are there infrastructure initiatives in play as part of the ecosystem coming up that you can share?
I'll let you start it, and then I'll finish it on sharing that.
We've been fortunate to really work with the local government, the Monmouth County Park System, and find opportunities for partnership. We know that there's 130,000 members just in New Jersey who soccer alone throughout the state. One of the highest density of populations participation is this area, Monmouth and County specifically. So we've been fortunate to sit down and have conversations about what can we do from an infrastructure perspective, from hosting events. We host events not only throughout the state, but interstate, and bringing in population and guests and members and participation. And we've really been focused on what can we do with the county.
And so we're going to partner. Obviously, we have our first Monmouth County team, FC Monmouth here, which has absolutely been fabulous, which we have wholeheartedly supported. And I think it's really special to be able to have that and to be able to showcase that and grow on that. And then, of course, our infrastructure. And I believe that this is what our park system is supposed to be doing, okay? Bringing in facilities and areas that will work twofold. There, it's going to bring the ability for youth to have a facility, a state-of-the-art facility, be able to bring teams, bring organizations in, and what does that do? It falls back into the economic side of it. They have to go somewhere. They have to lodge somewhere. All those things happen right now in Virginia, the Carolinas, the Georgias, when our children and all them are going there for soccer tournaments, which Eric and myself did for many years as we coached going out there. But let's bring them here. Let this be the destination.
And maybe let's talk, and James, you can speak to this. There are so many different aspects of the business of soccer, from recreation, just being in your backyard, pickup games, things of that nature. How has it evolved over time? FC Monmouth has, private investors that are bringing this out there, but for you have club, recreation, high school, right, and boys and girls. Can you speak to that and how that ecosystem that you have ties to all the way down to the 5-year-old boys, 5-year-old girls having that first pickup game with their mom or dad out in the field?
Yeah, for sure. I think just going back to the growth of it too, I want to circle all the way back to '94. The World Cup final, does anybody know where it was? Rose Bowl, California. The number thrown around then, $700 million in economic development. I hope all of you saw the flyer, and we saw the number now. $3.3 billion with a B, just to this surrounding 45-minute to an hour area. You might think to yourself, okay, how can you get involved? How can you do things? Obviously, supporting the youth is a big part of it. That's where we play into it. What we do, we have 2 men's and women's teams that are, I'd say, about 70 to 90% are completely based out of Monmouth and Ocean County from our player pool. They have grown up through the park system, through the youth clubs, and now they're going on to play in college. They're looking to play professionally, and we're able to offer these opportunities to them. If you're looking at that $3.3 billion number, you might look at yourself and say, okay, whoa, that is huge. How can I get involved? Engage with the local tourism offices. Reach out to your local municipalities and see. There's already conversations going on, and everybody wants to be able to support each other. How can you get involved? How can you get involved? My best advice would be start locally and grow from there, and that's where we play a role as an accelerator as well.
And some of the organizations over time in the various municipalities kind of work in their own silo a little bit. I think, Eric, you identified an area where they can collaborate and work together and perhaps set up, perhaps better systems or more efficiencies with instead of being on their own. Can you talk about the coalition?
Yeah, thank you, Terrence. So there's a lot of challenges with youth soccer, right? It's the world's greatest sport because in theory you can roll a ball out, and I've always said the game teaches itself if everybody just plays the game. And I'm not certain we see enough pickup. Darcy's and the gentleman that spoke, those guys are in their 60s and some of them well into their 60s. They get together and play pickup soccer every single week. That's a love of the game. And on the youth level, although we've done a lot of really good things, professional training at 6 years old is perhaps a little much. And I'd like to see a little bit more balance, finding the volunteerism, the love of the game, encouraging the pickup, and then having an infrastructure that will teach the game in a proper form. But trying to find that balance, and when we think that local clubs that are struggling because there is different forms of competition, or it's going to end up being a better experience. So we've gotten together, Homedale, with 3 or 4 towns, middle towns here, and we're experimenting with ways that we can give a little bit more without losing the identity of playing for your town club. I think we have a formula that eventually is going to provide that nice balance. Because at the end of the day, Terrence, this should not dominate your life either. 8-year-olds should not be going to travel games 20 weeks out of the year. There's got to be a balance to life as we develop good athletes.
I have to just piggyback on that because Eric is totally right on target on that when he says that, because the biggest problem that we're having, and I think that you two gentlemen, you could be steering it from the front line, is just what Eric said, is in those early ages, and I coached from a team from U8 to U19. And I will tell you, you have some parents that think they have their next Mia Hamm or their next Messi there, and they're starting there, and they're making it uncomfortable. By the time they're 14, they start to not like the sport. They start to want to be out of it because they have had so much pressure. And I think that's the focus here, because it's such a great game, and it's a game that you can learn with just a ball and a pair of shoes there, and it can be fun, right? And you're right, and there, but it's got to be, and I think it is right now. I think that's the only thing that has been lost here in the States, is because it's gotten to that point where they get burnt out there. But if we turn that corner, there's such a love for the game here here in the States and here in Monmouth County.
And I think there's a spotlight on that topic, and I think that's a good thing. I attended the Aspen Institute Project Play Conference last week in New York. So there's industry leaders in the New York, New Jersey metro area talking about this. And that was the study that came out is, what's the problem? There's no problem getting kids to play soccer. The challenge is getting them to stay. So we talk about retention. And the key issue is fun, right? So a couple examples. Next week, later in the month of November, we're going to host a couple of these open play sessions. Dick's Sporting Goods opening its House of Sport. We're going to help facilitate open play. Get out there with the ball. Don't worry about teams. Don't worry about standings. And I think of flag football, like they got kind of lightning in a bottle. And my daughter's experience, my daughter plays soccer, pretty much year round, and she loves it. But every Friday night, she looks forward to flag football. Why? Because she's out there with her friends. There's no practice during the week. They're just playing. There's not enough players that show up for the other team. They pull one over to the other side. There's a score. I don't think they know the score at the end of the game all the time. That's a sign that they're having fun. And if we bring that back, I think we'll increase participation, and certainly the retention, solve that.
To really piggyback off of that, we had a pretty much live case study this past summer. I'll actually circle back to start. The FC Monmouth was founded by a group of guys who were playing pickup at Sickles Park Sunday mornings. My father was there. I got there to get bullied around by the older guys. That's grassroots soccer. You'd get a Thanksgiving Day weekend when they had 400 people playing out on these fields. We recently, this past summer, would host free pickup on Friday nights. And this is where you see a pool of people who would have never engaged with us at all because they never had access to it because of a price boundary. And that's what we need to do to work harder to release these limitations and to create the sport and to make it more accessible for our communities. You will tap into so many different networks just by making something free. So keep that in mind as well.
And Eric, you could relate to this, and everyone in here that's pretty much Eric and my age here will think about going back to your high school days and say how many 3-sport athletes were there? There was a lot of them. See how many 3-sport athletes there are today? Very little. And that's a problem, because what they're getting, they're sticking to one sport and they get burnt out from that sport there. And they're not doing it for fun. They're doing it because they have to do it.
Let me ask this question. Like our girls play lacrosse. Can any of you speak to what you're seeing as far as girls sports, boys sports, and as far as how soccer it really is embracing everyone of all ages? You speak to that.
Sure. The participation is skewed heavily in terms of numbers of boys playing versus the number of girls. So call it 60-40. It's not balanced. So there's a lot of attention on this issue. And I think we go back to the same theme. Anecdotally, and even some published studies talk about, the girls really relate to that social aspect first and foremost, and then the competition comes. And I've seen maybe where the boys prioritize the competition first. So if we understand that dynamic, and I think of my colleagues, girls teams who's been playing since 10, now 18, they are a team, right? That social aspect is there. They want to be together. And yes, everyone wants to go out there and win, and that doesn't change. But if we understand the dynamics and understand the culture, be it coaching education, understand what drives people, I think we're going to have more success.
So when you look at what's going on in Europe and why they developed so many great players, and look, I think from the women's game, we were way ahead of the world for a long time. It's why we sort of dominated the 90s and into the early part of this, but that changed about 10 years ago. And at the end of the day, they don't focus on teams at a young age. They don't focus on winning or making these super teams. The clubs sort of dictate fun, interaction, a lot of small games, a lot of one-on-one, two-on-two, three-on-three. They're not worried about winning tournaments at 8, 9, and 10. They're not worried about winning tournaments at 12, 13, and 14. They're worried about numbers and then helping you technically first, then tactically. And that system is producing better players. It's that simple. You know, a small country like Belgium with 12 million people, I don't even know if there's that many, should not be collectively better than the United States. It's just a law of numbers. But right now their infrastructure and how they develop players is helping them.
Well, in perspective there, New Jersey itself has 9 million people in it. So in comparison.
Well, and part of the challenge, and this kind of speaks to a lot of the parents are trying to figure out what to do. Really, it's I've been at games, different games outside, and the inside the field they're having a great game. Outside, it feels like I'm in an MMA match, right? Where that's why they're saying let the kids play, let the officials officiate, and let these kids have a great time, right? So I mean, we're talking, as you can tell, we're talking from the playground side all the way up to a multinational event. I want to ask a different question to the director. Eric is part of this coalition, which is helping facilitate different clubs. Monmouth County, under your leadership and the commissioners, have one of the most fantastic, to the envy of so many others, recreation programs and departments, that type of thing. Are there any kind of initiatives or opportunities that maybe some of the local clubs aren't familiar with? Maybe it's Freehold, maybe it's Millstone, maybe all the towns in Monmouth County, that they can leverage those resources for this kind of working together.
Sure.
For that piece.
So we pretty much leave that the competitiveness side of it to the organizations like MOSA and different types of soccer groups that run for the competitive side. As far as the recreational side, okay, the county, our goal should be to offer the facilities. Every town should have their own recreation facility type of involvement, and then of course the group organizations that they have there. Our goal, and which we're going to expand on here and join partnerships with, is the organizations now that we feel, and I'm a big proponent of this. If I look to see something that's going to be a positive initiative here in the county, okay, we're going to latch on. We're going to latch on and promote it. You know, that's not always been the thought process of government. I didn't agree with that at all. Is we want to promote our county. We want our county to have the best. So why shy away from that old analogy, oh, well, we don't get involved in that? Well, listen, if it's positive, let's get involved in it. And that's our ultimate goal now, and that's what we're going to do. That's the initiative that we're going to take from here on in. And I want to say one thing about just to go back on what we were saying before. I'm going to use my daughter for example, and this should resonate in a lot of people's minds. My daughter was a very good soccer player, played from U8 all the way up. I spent a fortune, okay? I can tell you during that period of times. She gets up her senior year in high school, she gets a full ride and plays lacrosse in college. I was like, oh my God, all that money I spent in soccer and she's playing lacrosse, which is great. But what happened is it was another sport that she latched onto, and being the athlete that she was, she ended up playing lacrosse all 4 years of college. So it was amazing.
Evan?
Yeah, and you mentioned the idea of rec programming. So it's something that we're really focused on in New Jersey Youth Soccer. We know the competitive landscape. It's financed, it's structured, there's opportunity left and right. The role that we think we can play is, again, getting more kids into the game to stay with the game. So from an accessibility standpoint, something we're proud of is, in the 10 years I've been there, we haven't raised fees for recreation. It's $9 for a rec player to play throughout the year, and we've actually reduced the cost for a coach to register. So, you know, my former boss said every time we raise a fee $1, that's one more kid that's not playing. So we'll keep that as long as we can. And then there's also investment back into recreation. Something that's been really successful is a rec referee program. You talked about the MMA sideline environment. We feel that if, one, we help referees, young referees, 10, 11, well, 12, 13, 14 get that experience refereeing a game, they'll be more successful when they get later into the game. And just my personal opinion, what you learn as a referee, from responsibility to accountability to decision making, it's such a great skill, and it is really unfortunate because the environment is not helping kids stick with it.
So I'll tie a couple things together here, Terrence. When I was getting, after a couple years of marriage, my wife wanted to buy a house, and she was not born in Monmouth County, and she gave a couple ideas where she wanted to live, and I kind of shook my head. She's like, "Why are you shaking your head?" And I said, "Honey, when you grow up in Monmouth County, you stay in Monmouth County." And we did stay in Monmouth County. It's the one argument I won. I haven't won one since. But youth sports, 7, 8, 9, 10, doesn't need to leave Monmouth County. If you would start with some rules like that and I love what the county is doing, has done, built great infrastructure for our kids to play sports. It's a fantastic alternative, right? It's part of our life. We're talking about the billions of dollars that one sport can bring, how this unbelievable sport brings the world together. How much is that needed right now, right? Bringing people together. For that 3 weeks, you will not see division in this country. You just won't. It brings the world together. And I think as the county, and Tom's been so involved in doing these things, I think helping towns all over with better fields, better facilities, you don't need to leave the county. Eventually you do, but not when they're young. Why are we driving 55 minutes, an hour, and 20 minutes for one game for a 9-year-old boy or girl? You want to ruin a marriage and burn out a kid? That's ruin that. Start there. There's better ways to do this. So a couple tweaks. Enjoy the sport. It's going to be a fantastic summer in 2026.
Go ahead, James.
No, so the real question is, how does something like an FC Monmouth play into all of this, and how can we support the youth? I think there's great clubs out there like a Middletown, like a Homedale, that really do take advantage of what we have to offer. It's incredibly inexpensive for a very simple catch on to the Blue Claws. A family-friendly, fun night out at the park. You know, you get the kids on the field. You get the $2 hot dog. You're not going all the way up to a MetLife to spend $35 on 2 beers. Nobody wants to do that, okay? We're here to have an awesome resource for the kids to be able to come. And then again, with our players, they get a hands-on, up-close and personal experience with future professionals who are right based out of their backyard.
Yeah, and so thank you for that. And for the folks that are here and the folks that are watching streaming, and thousands of folks will see this video that are involved in the sport or aren't, you come into this meeting thinking, what's the meeting about? It's about soccer. When you leave, you realize in many respects it's not about soccer at all. It's about community. It's about family. It's about this area, and it's not just about where the game is held, or Canada or Mexico, what have you. It's right in your backyard. It's about people getting together, right? So for the folks that are not as initiated, that want to be part of it, I want to speak to two audiences. One is for the families that are listening, or that are like, this is really interesting. How do I? We're not actively involved in soccer, but we'd like to be a part of things that are happening in the region, because there are a number of different lead-ups to the ultimate event, the final, as you mentioned, like multiple Super Bowls, but also that on the family side, but on the business side, particularly the small business side, under the county's leadership, embracing small business, made in Monmouth, brewed in Monmouth, all these different initiatives. Can you speak to how they tie into the small businesses that would like to be a part of this ecosystem that happens to be, the World Cup, but on the broader sense of bringing the community together, both from a personal family side and also their business side too as well.
So James mentioned a number about $3 billion, what it brought in revenue. Last year, during our tourism industry, we have an estimated number, ironically, it's similar, brought in $3 billion of revenue to this county. Our beach revenue alone was $32 million. We had roughly 10 million people came to this county. Now think about that. So we're talking about all other countries coming to here. Listen, I personally believe Monmouth County will benefit probably tops out of all the counties because it's a destination. Here, you have to have something to do after the soccer game while you're there. There's not many beaches like our beaches. People are going to want to frequent our beaches. When they frequent our beaches, they're going to frequent the restaurants, the lodging, and all those areas. That's what we have to maximize. I know our tourism industry, our public information industry, right now we are in behind closed doors trying to find ways, not trying to find ways, having a plan that we can share with our municipalities there to market, okay, outside of Monmouth County, to bring those people into Monmouth County. That's our ultimate goal this year. This could actually be one of the most successful business years probably ever in Monmouth County because of this event.
And the World Cup host committee did a great job. They created a toolkit to help those local businesses, how to use the branding, the World Cup branding, and if you're doing an event, a watch party. So there's so many people engaged in saying this is a unique moment in our time, and how do we take advantage of it?
Well, and Evan, if you can follow on to that, is we're talking about this event. Can you speak to the partnerships, the infrastructure, the collaboration, and from your perspective, and others to also speak after you do, what happens after? How do you build on that? Like, what do you see from that point, taking that excitement and bringing youth sports to it in a different level, perhaps?
Yeah, we were talking before that the World Cup's going to be here. It's going to be everything for us for a month or two, but then they're going to move on. But we're all going to still be here, right? So it's about how do you lay that foundation. Our mission is to connect and empower the youth soccer community. So I'll give a couple examples,
Please.
because that's super integral to everything that we think every day. So how do we create those partnerships with our clubs? What do you need? How do we support? There's 400 member clubs in New Jersey. I learned about, just even in this introduction, to help with, their internship programs, the community people here. So there's that connection at a hyper-local level, but how do we help the national organizations that are really trying to get hyper-local? So U.S. Soccer and Soccer Forward, there's an event later. We did one in Del Barton a few months ago when the national team was in. 100 kids came out and played with the national team players. The host committee is going to be doing events all over the place. Later today, I'll be at Sports Illustrated Stadium in Harrison, where, again, getting kids out onto the stadium field to play. FIFA is interested in our community, not just New Jersey, but the United States. But I spent time with Arsene Wenger when he came in, which was an unbelievable experience. Those who don't know, Arsene
tell him who he is.
He's probably one of the most famous coaches, managers for Arsenal, and he's now in the FIFA technical department. So when they were in for the FIFA Club World Cup finals, they reached out. They're super interested, as we're talking, Belgium, right? There's places everywhere else in the world, soccer is the thing. That's it. And they see the opportunity of what it can be in terms of fandom, in terms of participation in the United States, and they just wanted to learn, what are we missing? What's not happening? We're talking about all sorts of solutions, but I think FIFA is going to get engaged and I think can help us, even at the local level, to create a better future.
Soccer has challenges here, so because of our geography, right? So you look at England, and within an hour, you have 5 or 6 major league, their Premier League teams. So it's very easy to from a geography standpoint, for teams to travel and so forth. We need to create our own. We can't copy Europe. We can't copy Belgium. We can't copy England. We need to create our own perfect system here that works for the United States on how we continue to grow the sport. And I'm not sure we figured out. I think there's been so many positive things. Things like making the game smaller at the youth level, teaching us not to punt the ball. There's been a ton of real positive moves. We just need to continue that. And I think if there's a little bit of focus on reducing the travel for the young kids, and unfortunately you have to put rules in, because if you leave it up to the parents, they're just too competitive at too young of an age. So I think it's up to the sporting bodies to help create and just tweak some of the infrastructure. We're going to grow the sport. And if you do that, I think, look at Major League Soccer today. We are signing kids for real money, and it does, that's part of it, right? When MLS, it wasn't that long ago that the average they were making $60,000. 5 years ago, a rookie was making $60,000. You know, Paxton Aronson was just brought back from Europe, one of our National League fringe players, but he's got national cups, and Colorado's paying him $2 million. So there's a future in Major League Soccer right here, but we've got to tweak a few things so that, you know, Red Bulls is not, I mean, separate argument, but all these stadiums should be filled. It's a reason, and it starts at the ground level, making sure that we get 3,000, 5,000 to FC Monmouth, and then obviously fill in the stadiums.
So a big point about that, I really, a ton of points. I joke that we're turning into more of an events company than a sports team at this point because we are already planning. And if you haven't already and you haven't started thinking about it, reach out, get involved. There's so many different groups that are willing to help and to be able to engage. Eric, your points about how can you ride the wave? That's the big part of this. How can we go into 2026, 2027 with momentum? The U.S. just announced its Women's World Cup bid for 2031. That's going to be huge if we have it right back here. We are right now the only minor league women's soccer team in the entire Jersey Shore, whereas on the men's sides, we have teams right down the road. The women's growth from this will develop hugely. I'll also say the smaller pro teams. I was just in Portland, Maine last week where they had 6,500 people at a Tier 3 soccer game in Portland, Maine. Who would think, you know? And these communities are developing and they're growing both within connections and within their economy. The amount of public companies that are being boosted because of these things in these small little communities. We want to be a driver like that too, right in Monmouth County.
Thank you, James. So,
can I
go
just
ahead.
add one thing? So we decided this upcoming year, unrelated to soccer, but then hopefully, possibly related, which I don't know if it can happen, but we decided that the western part of our county doesn't get the benefit as much during the summer season as our shore area there, because obviously for what reason? Because of the beach and all those. And then that's great, but we do have a large western part of the county. So we have engaged in a park stage where we're going to be building a very big venue for this upcoming year, and we partnered with the Basie, and they're going to be 8 to 10 high profile concerts that are going to be in our Freehold Parks grounds this upcoming year. It would be awesome, and I know right now, I don't know if this could happen. We will definitely make our pitch, and I might be reaching when I say this, but it's a huge venue where we're going to have this at. And if we could, because I know Liberty State Park, I think, is the watch party event right now there. Am I correct there?
FanFest, yeah.
Yep. And it would be great if we could pull, because there's so many people interested, if we could put that area as a watch party because it's so large there. Who knows? If that can, it's another economic driver for that part of the county.
That's really that. Are we learning tremendous amounts of information today? You know, raise your hand. Yes. So, as we wind down the program, 3 items. One, I want to ask each of you what guidance you would give to the student athlete today, the youth, their parents, just general advice, guidance, because there's so much going on. Obviously, there's the penultimate event and so many things happening around it. But bringing it down to the local level right here, there are folks that are watching and say, well, what should I tell my nephew? What should I tell my son? He's really, you know, what are some just guidance from your own side? And then we're going to open it up to a few questions. And then when we come back, when we wrap up, we'd like to hear what's the next big thing for you, your organization, and also how folks could get in touch with you, your organization, or if there's a nonprofit near and dear to you that you can share that. So first, I'd like to, for each of you, in any order you like, what's your message to the kids and their parents who are just kind of navigating this journey of soccer or other sports, that, especially today with the clubs and the local and all these things happening?
I'm happy to jump in. So one of our technical directors used the term "get comfortable being uncomfortable." It's used on the field, off the field, right? I think we all know what that means. So, and if I may, a shout out to my son. He, this past summer, created an event called Every Kick Counts. Something new, took a leap of faith.
Good for him.
It was an event for players with disabilities, something he's been involved with, volunteering for years, and he created this opportunity for these, you know, kids to play foot golf. Great partnership with Bel Air, the Monmouth County Park System. They came out and just opened the doors to make it happen for something different. So dozens of kids with disabilities participate in this event, had a great time. It really took root. Tab Ramos is volunteered to become the ambassador for this moving forward. It looks like it might take place in other states because the formula worked, and he raised $10,000, and it's something that I think he's going to take forward. So thank you. But not so much about him. I think the message was, you know, this is an opportunity. Reach out, get involved. There's just a unique time to do something different and special, and I think that's an opportunity, a lesson for students to think about.
Thank you. Eric?
I think if I had one message, it would be to the parents of any athlete. And I really sincerely mean this. As soon as you get in the car and you want to break down the game and highlight, maybe get a film and go over that, scrap all those ideas and repeat these words. It was great watching you play today. That is the extent of your conversation. I don't care if they're 8 or 18. Repeat those words, and that's the only thing you should say. It was awesome to watch you play today. That's it. Move on.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, I think a big thing for us. A big thing for us is, again, starting locally. We were just talking about tickets earlier, Terrence. The pre-sale started, I think, about last month or earlier this month. There was over 1 million people on a wait list for a few thousand tickets. Being realistic, being there in person is not going to be as accessible as we think it is. Go to a watch party. Support your local business. Go to Darcy's. Watch these games in person. Bring your kids and get them involved, because this is the only time for another 30 years that we will have this right in our backyard. It is a very unique opportunity for all of your kids. I'll kind of shout out a lot of things that we've done in the past similarly too. We've collaborated with Rally Cap of Middletown, where we've had special needs clinics with our players up close and personal. There was a question back about mental health resources. We just hosted a health and wellness day this past Saturday where we were able to have mental health resources available from local businesses, tabling, offering what they can do to their communities. We've had pride nights, military awareness. We are an outlet to be able to promote the community, and it's a lot more than just a team, and we want to be able to get involved with as many people as we can to make this next year a special year for not only you, but for your kids that are going to grow up and remember these experiences for the rest of their life.
Director, you're a coach. What do you want to say?
So I actually am going to say, don't be like me. And the reason I say that is because for many, many years I did coach, and I look back now, and that's probably one of the things that I definitely am not proud of. When your daughter says to her mother, are you taking separate cars than dad? Because he knew I was coaching, and she wanted to drive home with mom and not dad, to be critiqued the whole way home there. And that's what we have to miss, and we have to change. Excuse me. It has to be fun. It has to be fun. It has to go to programs like these two gentlemen are doing. Enjoy yourself. Bring a soccer ball. Go with your friends. Kick on the sidelines. Don't look at the game the whole time. Play as you're watching. Enjoy yourself and say, it's supposed to be fun. It's like going to a fair. It's like going to a circus. It's supposed to be something when you're going to watch, fun, not to be critiqued. And it's just really have fun. Okay, you're not a pro athlete at 10 years old, okay, and likely probably not going to be, okay, so make it a fun event there.
So I'm getting that 6-year-olds maybe don't need highlight reels just yet, right? Okay. Pay for professional highlight reels. All right, great. Thank you. That was really great. Jeannie, can we open up to a few questions?
Yes.
Good morning again, Gary Gelman Images. Unlike the panel, I am not a soccer fan, but as a small business owner, I know there's a lot of photos and videos that need to be taken. I did sign up online to be a vendor, and it was interesting because AI sort of led me through the entire process. Can anyone tell those who are here the process of signing up to be a vendor? Because we know there'll be a lot of events that we need to cover.
Vendor of the, sorry, just to specify.
Things that are going on during
World
the
Cup
time.
specifically.
Yeah, World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've spent a lot of time around the host committee. I'm hoping to be a de facto member of the host committee, but I haven't gotten there yet. But I would say, and one, I'm happy to help connect the dots. They did have that toolkit that I mentioned that was really robust and covered all sorts of areas from branding. So don't have all the specifics, but happy to help connect the dots there.
Thank you. Mr. Gilmore.
Tom Gilmore from MODC. Commissioner Arnone, buckle up.
I'm used to it. I knew you were getting the mic.
Know, but,
I was guaranteed if I was a betting man, this question was coming to me.
Yeah, well, one of the things
and I won.
that's going to happen. You did. You did. Besides the fact that Monmouth County has done an amazing job getting ready for 250. Congratulations. So we've got the World Cup. We've got 250. One thing that's been left out, which is going to drive more and more people to Monmouth County, is the fact that the Bruce Springsteen Archives is going to open June 4th. So all these crazy people from all over the world, all these international travelers, are going to want to come to Asbury Park, get their picture taken in front of the Stone Pony, and then go visit the Bruce Archives. So just put that on your calendar.
No, it is on our calendar. It 100% is, and it's something that we will work with the Asbury Park tourism industry to make sure that we promote and drive people there, because you are 100% right. You know, what we're missing here is great events like that, you know, super high profile artist events like that. You know, it's all the excitement about Netflix coming, and I sit on that board there, and but that's, so it's going to be a domino effect. Netflix, the World Cup's going to be here, or I'm sorry, but the what you're talking about, Tom, will be here. The World Cup will be here. Netflix will be here a few years down the road. All this is just going to be high generating for Monmouth County.
Yep. And I mean, it wasn't that long ago that Asbury Park had 8 restaurants, right? What do they have right now? 75? I think it's over north of 75. Restaurants are going to be packed. The PNC Art Center should be sold out. Our golf courses, which are the best in the state, are going to be busy. And what did you say, $30 million in revenue from the beaches? There's little doubt in my mind it'll be up 20 to 30%, because you could travel up and down, and I do travel a lot. I love Florida. I really do. No better beaches than Monmouth County, folks. Those beaches are beautiful. Asbury Park, there's a reason why 100 years ago people settled there. Those beaches are absolutely beautiful. So you're right. Bruce Springsteen, there's all kinds of history. The people are going to visit this building. So there's going to be an amazing, you know, tourism effect and everything to do with hospitality. So if you're in that industry, buckle up and get ready.
Yeah, all those players are born to run, so I'm sure there's going to dovetail very, very nicely together.
Very good.
Yes, not too bad, right? All right, yes. The next generation, welcome.
Hi, my name is Maggie Daly, and I'm a student at Homedale High School. And I was just wondering what you think, like, some long-term effects would be, like examples, like for a place like the Monmouth County after the World Cup.
So the ripples in the pond after the World Cup. Quick hits?
It's up to these guys to figure out what they do for a living.
Resurgent interest or enhanced interest in sports in general?
Yeah,
soccer,
I think
girls
it's a great
and boys?
question. And I wanted to shout out again, too, from the student perspective. I think just the job opportunities that are going to be coming from this, not only from a full-time experience, but internships. Things like this that you guys are starting with at such a young age is so great. By the time you're in college, by the time the Women's World Cup is coming, the amount of pro teams that are coming into the area, into the country, there will be so many more sports related, not only on the field, off the field. It's a business at the end of the day. Sponsorship, marketing, revenue generation. I think the job opportunities, especially in this area with our proximity to the city, everybody wants to go there. But to Tom's point, everybody wants to live in Monmouth County. So I really think that'll be a driver for job creation in the area.
Evan?
Yeah, quick add in congratulations and thank you for sharing. I think as we talk about opportunities for students, you're taking advantage one, so credit to you for being here for that. And I think there's also a little bit of culture change that I hope comes out about from this. We talked about, you know, how this sport is experienced, the competitive nature on it, and we're all talking about the same thing. How do we make it fun? So I hope the long-term effect is that, you know, dial it back a little bit. The competitive side will continue. There's a need for it, but how do we celebrate the part that for many of us like myself, the sport gave me a lifetime of experience. I'm still in it day in and day out, outside of playing.
Yeah, my primary job is I work with a wealth management team, and we help people reach their financial goals. A large part of our clientele is either athletes or people involved in the entertainment business. And when I say entertainment, you said it before, right? There is an unbelievable job opportunity here. And it's not just about soccer, it's about all those jobs that they create. You're going to have to learn about, you know, advertising, promotion, marketing. Those are all the things that I think kids are studying and want to understand. Look, live entertainment is not going to, it's going to continue to grow as a billion-dollar industry. The question is, can soccer really be the end user for all that opportunity? I think it can be. we tweak a few things, I think it could be a really big opportunity on a local, on a mid-range, and on a national stage. So hopefully that's the future, and that could mean all kinds of opportunities for high school jobs and interns and for kids leaving college.
Thanks, Director.
And I think it points back to my earlier statement when I said for us to partner with these organizations and give them the resource that they need. In particular, say the right infrastructure of fields to make it exciting, to say, wow, these people are getting in their cars, they're, in some cases getting on planes and traveling to a destination. Let this be this destination instead of our people leaving here and going to that destination and spending those dollars in that economic area.
Thanks, Director. Gina,
I think we have time for one more question.
Yeah. Thanks.
So I'm happy to meet with all you guys. I've been in the industry since 1993. I was a high school coach. I got Bergen County Coach of the Year, state winner. And we took a lot of the teams in Bergen County that only had soccer teams in certain towns. I converted football teams into playing soccer. I do exactly what you guys do in front of many investors to do more and more sports centers with the Superdome Sports. I came to Monmouth County with Fourth Monmouth not long ago and put in a bid for the theater and 2 sports centers next door. I waited for an answer. There was a lot of action. We went down to the township of Brick, which is Ocean County. I have Bergen County. We have Hudson County. And we'd love to be in your neighborhood. I just met with the Atlantic Club with Roy Stillman, who's developing. I just bought a condo right there, so now I can say I am a Monmouth resident.
That's very important, on my side.
So I'm very happy to be part of you guys. The only thing I don't have in Monmouth County is a sports facility like the Superdome Sports. And I've been pitching what you guys talk about. I know it since 1993. I've been looking for investors. You guys are looking to develop. We have everything you talked about, the kids, the youth, how to deal with children, me being a social worker in New Jersey, a phys ed teacher of 25 years working with youth and family services. I love what you guys are doing. I support you. Anything I can do to help you move into next level, let me know. Pete Tasker, thank you.
Yeah, and just
Thank you.
I think this is about partnership. We've talked about that. Everyone has their own piece of the puzzle, so I think there's a lot of opportunity. Although I grew up in Bergen County and I played in high school in that same year, so if you were the coach of a team that I lost to, I'm just going to have to say I'm out. So you're on your own.
He's having a watch party at his new house. So we'll all be there. And there's a wonderful, fantastic facility, Vito Cardinale, Venture Crossing USA. Absolute fantastic dome. That's another location that is it's right centrally located, hour from Philly, hour from New York. So many different locations to really to reach out and build this ecosystem. So now we're going to wrap it up. I want to hear what's the next big thing. What would you like to leave folks with today from your perspective? We'll start with this. We're going to do reverse order, oldest first. All right. Go ahead, James. Thanks.
I really just want to cap it off. Thank you, everybody, for making it today. It's an awesome crowd. I think this is one of the greatest.
That's off to the audience.
Listen, thank you. Thank you, James, because you came to me and said I would really like to do a podcast.
Well, thank you guys for
on
organizing.
soccer
You two are the best
yeah.
pair, dynamic
So,
duo right here.
yeah.
So, and thank you, Therese, for the opportunity as well. So this is awesome. I really do want to say it starts from the ground up. It starts with what Evan's doing. It is important to have the support of what Eric's doing at the club level, and then it's important to have, obviously, the government support as well. We're kind of just the middle piece, so I really want to leave it at that. Support local, get engaged. There's so many different avenues from 1, 2, 3 to 4 right here, and we're more than willing to be a resource for all of you as well. So thank you again for attending, and hopefully be in touch as well.
Thank you. Eric?
Look, it's an amazing game, and if you haven't experienced the real excitement, it really it's the crowd and the passion that goes with it. I'm lucky enough. I'll be going to England in December to catch 2 games, and when you're there, you can really feel how passionate that is, and I believe that can happen here in the United States. I've seen touches of it. But you're going to see and breathe. Even if you're not a soccer fan, you're going to get caught up in it next year. And I hope it stays with you. And I hope for those that have children or grandchildren, that they support it in the right way. It's a wonderful sport, and let's just hopefully keep it a real positive influence in all our lives. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Eric. I'm sorry, Evan.
So I mentioned our mission about connecting and empowering the local soccer community. And I think I attended the League of Municipalities event last year, and the number of people that came up to me after the World Cup session about, hey, I'm in the Parks and Rec, what can I do, how can you help? And the number of connections that happened from that day was just an unbelievable opportunity, and the follow-up with each and every one of them. So I think it's going to open up doors. This is going to open up eyes, and people are going to want to get involved or participate, start their own program. And I hope that certainly New Jersey Youth Soccer and then leveraging all the partnerships is going to be successful, because I know that we can't do it alone. Director Arnone mentioned about some of the facility opportunities, the facility infrastructure opportunities. So I think we can all kind of work together and really make a difference.
Thank you. Now, Director, thank you very much for that. Director Arnone is going to bring this home for us right after. If everyone could please come back, we're going to take a photo that they're going to put on the Jumbotron at MetLife Stadium, and right?
I like that.
Yes, so Director Arnone, bring it home for us.
So I know sometimes I probably annoy the other 20 county commissioners or directors there when I say this. I guess ties into soccer and all other sports, very competitive. One part of the competitive side of that is I want to be the best, and I want Monmouth County to be the best. I think we proved that, whether it's our Brookdale Community College, whether it's our county schools, whether it's our parks, whether it's our law enforcement, all those areas, okay, restaurants are the best in the state of New Jersey. This is an opportunity to capitalize on something coming to the state that the other 20 counties could do just what we could do and will do, but we should be the best at capitalizing for our youth and for our business climate. And so that's the ultimate goal of the county through this whole process, to capitalize this here to an opportunity to everybody sitting in this room.
Thank you very much, Director. Therese.
I just want to thank everybody for coming here. This was a great event, don't you think? I want to thank our panel. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for everything that you do for Monmouth County and for what you've done, Commissioner Arnone. Thank you so much. But thank you. But I want to talk about James for a moment. I love you. I just want to let you know, James joined the chamber within the last year, and we have been great partners together, supported each other, and he's an incredible young man. To do the work he's doing at his young age really gives us so much hope for the future, and for the students that come every month. Thank you too, because this is, you're here, you're learning, and you're asking great questions, by the way. So I just want to thank the youth in the room today, too, because they're the ones up and coming who are going to run everything one day, and we can have peace of mind because of the quality of who you are. So thank you.
Thank you again, and a shout out to Two River Technology. Thank you again being our sponsor. Folks, give yourself a round of applause, and for our fantastic guests, FIFA 2026. Thank you very much and have a great day. Appreciate your time. Come back next month. And if everyone, please come forward for a quick photo. That would be wonderful. Thank you very much. Appreciate everyone being here.